Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Erik Voss, and this is a breakdown of the first look trailer footage of the WandaVision spin-off, Agatha Darkhold Diaries, formerly titled Agatha Coven of Chaos, and before that, Agatha House of Harkness. And yeah, I hope the title of the series just keeps changing every weekly episode until we get to Agatha All Along. This show is slated to drop in 2024, Halloween, according to Patti LuPone, and with the release of the WandaVision SteelBook, they included this Agatha promo with a ton of footage and missable details and clues pointing to what this series will be. Many of you first found this channel with my crazy breakdowns of WandaVision, so of course we're gonna be all over this spinoff. And you know I've already lit my black candle for Mephisto's inevitable arrival. Will I find Mephisto in this trailer? No, I don't think so, because I've already found him, you fools! Thank you to Boxu for sponsoring this video. More on their tasty offerings later. Okay, this promo begins with Catherine Hahn recalling how WandaVision brought back the classic TV ritual of staying home to watch an episode of TV with your family and friends on Friday nights. Classic TGIF vibes! And then things shift into the Agatha series. So the promo takes us back to the WandaVision finale, where Agatha tells the Scarlet Witch, Wanda, before Wanda traps her in that mental sitcom hex, this.
You have no idea what you've unleashed. You're gonna need me.
Now, when we revisited this line, it kind of seemed like Agatha was talking about the Scarlet Witch as the villain in the upcoming Multiverse of Madness. But no, my friends. There's something else that was unleashed. Perhaps a flood of chaos sorcery throughout the Marvel Universe, reactivating every possible witch that Agatha Harkness had snuffed out. Actually, last week we saw a deleted scene for the first time ever that showed Agatha still in that hex flirting with an EMT.
Ma'am, are you injured?
No, I'm not handsome, but I could always use some mouth-to-mouth.
By the way, there was another deleted scene in which Randall Park as Jimmy Woo would have confirmed Evan Peters as actor Ralph Bohner as the person in federal witness protection that he was looking for. A long-time mystery that the show up until that point never answered.
Let's keep an eye out for our missing witness. We still need him to testify. Should be easier to spot now that everything's back to normal.
Oh, yeah, baby. Come on. Now, Evan Peters is not currently expected to appear in this Agatha series, but we are left with the question of what pre-Westview FBI case Jimmy Woo needed Ralph Bohner to testify for, and since Agatha took Ralph as an early captive as she intruded on Wanda's hex, it now kind of ties her into that whole Law and Order subplot vibe. It kind of seems like she will be stuck in a legal procedural detective show genre at first in this series. It's gonna feel like Law and Order or Law and Order SVU or any of the other million Law and Orders. Now in this promo there is a neon sign that it looks like it's in a clairvoyant dwelling. Psychic, past, present, future. This could be Lilia Calderou. Patti LuPone, Broadway legend, is joining this cast as Lilia Calderou, a 450-year-old Sicilian witch with divination powers who is a member of Agatha's Coven. Lilia first appeared in Marvel Premiere number 12 in 1973, seeking the Book of Cagliostro. You remember that from the first Doctor Strange film? She was looking for this book after Baron Mordo took it from her after romancing her, and she's wanted revenge, so she works with Doctor Strange, teaming up with him against Mordo, but she dies in the process. Now, Lilia resurrects later on in Doctor Strange Sorcerer Supreme number 8 in 1989, and she plays a new role in 2007's Mystic Arcana Scarlet Witch number 1. She wears a serpent crown, she leads her own coven, Lilia can make herself appear younger, and she claims to have predicted the emergence of a young Wanda Maximoff's sorceress powers. In this series, also part of the coven will be Aubrey Plaza as the witch Rio Vidal, a green witch and ex-lover of Agatha. Supposedly, she's an original character whose surname could come from Contessa Vera Vidal from the Iron Fist Immortal comics. SNL's Sashir Zamata is playing Jennifer Kale, who is a sorceress, and throughout the Marvel comics, she's been a longtime figure who first appeared in Man-Thing comics from 1972, and she's appeared in titles like X-Force, Midnight Suns, often a lot of horror comics, and most recently, the current 2023 Scarlet Witch run by Steve Orlando. Ali An is playing yet another witch in this coven named Alice, and returning from WandaVision are many of the people we knew from Westview. Deborah Jo Rupp as Sharon Davis, aka Mrs. Hart, Emma Caulfield Ford as Sarah Proctor, aka Dottie Jones, David David Payton as John Collins, aka Herb, David Langle as Sarah's husband Harold Proctor, aka Phil Jones, Asif Ali as Abhilash Tandon, aka Norm, and Amos Glick as the pizza delivery man, aka Dennis. Now, in the behind the scenes footage, we see Jack Schaefer in his kitchen set that I thought might have been Agatha's kitchen from WandaVision episode 7, but that wallpaper is different in this home. There are some animal prints framed on the wall, and I like how Schaefer seems to be wearing a sweatshirt with what looks like a tarot card design. Maybe the reader, maybe the world, it's kind of hard to tell. One interesting setup shows Agatha in a morgue with a corpse on a gurney with a tag on the toe. Agatha is wearing her initial Nosy Neighbor 1961 outfit from the very first episode of WandaVision. According to Scooper, can we get some toast? So take it with a grain of salt. They are claiming that this is part of a detective storyline as Agatha teams up with a fellow detective who in this hex spell sees as Special Agent Rio Vidal, who tells Agatha that there are two Jane Does on this case, and the first corpse's toe tag reads W. Maximoff, and then a new name will appear above Wanda's, A. Harkness. It's kind of hard to tell if that's true from this shot though. I first thought this corpse was male, but this whole idea of witch corpses definitely takes us back to the Wizard of Oz and those feet sticking out from under Dorothy Gale's house. The corpse of the Wicked Witch of the East, which totally came up in WandaVision episode 9 when Agatha's empty boots stuck out from under the throne card into the house. And I'm not just pulling this out my ass this time, folks. The Wizard of Oz, absolutely a reference point. Notice that clapboard. The production title was My Pretty. Now, what's weird though is later in the trailer, Agatha wears 80s era clothes in this morgue location, looking like herself from WandaVision episode 5, that was a Growing Pains era. And then yet another shot with Agatha in her slimmer purple sweater that she wore in the Modern Family episode of episode 7. And then again, back in her 80s attire when she rests her hands on one of those morgue metal sinks. So it kind of seems like in this morgue location, Agatha will be flashing through several sitcom eras from when she was under Wanda's hex, and this could be the moment she finally snaps out of that hex that Wanda left her under at the end of that series. It might be the sight of her own body. Like maybe Agatha begins the series as a kind of deceased spirit, a ghost, trying to make it back into the living realm. Yeah, entanglement is a big component of what makes the Marvels fun, and you can keep that fun going by entangling, snacking, and surprise with Boxu. Boxu is a premium Japanese snack box that works with family businesses all over Japan to deliver a new theme of authentic Japanese snacks every month. And honestly, it makes a great gift. Fun snacks that you'd usually have to travel to try, people love it. And beyond the snacks, each Boxu comes with a booklet that teaches you all about the theme and where the snacks come from so that you can have a deeper appreciation for what it is you're munching on. The first box of any Boxu subscription is the Seasons of Japan. After that, you receive a new theme every month with curated seasonal snacks. One of my favorite things for these is a white strawberry. It's so sweet, and the strawberries infused with white chocolate to just make like, oh my God, it's heaven. It's a bite of heaven, I'm telling you. But they also have these smoky radish chips, which compared with the sweet white chocolate strawberry, this just makes for a nice smoky something. Oh yeah. Ooh, so good, so good. Both I and the new Rockstars office have been receiving these boxes for ages. We love them. So if you want to try Boxu and support the channel, click the link in the description and use code Rockstars to get $15 off your order. But we gotta talk about Agatha's new look. Agatha's look has been updated so that it's kind of similar to her appearance when she resurrects in the final issue of James Robinson's 2015 Scarlet Witch run, when Wanda lets Agatha's spirit be alive again. And Agatha does what? She heads straight for a nude beach, because of course she does. But notice her new brooch. In WandaVision, that brooch had the 3 graces of Greek mythology. Those 3 graces were the daughters of Zeus, each bestowing a different gift to humanity. There is Euphrosyne, who gave mirth, Aglaia, who gave elegance, and Talia, who gave youth and beauty. But now Agatha has a new brooch. It's very subtle, but it is different this time, and it depicts the 3 goddesses archetype of neo-paganism: the maiden, the mother, and the crone. I want to thank Scarlet Witch Updates on Twitter for sharing like every little bit of Scarlet Witch news that they could find. I love this account. Give them a follow. Now, these triple goddesses have had a lot of different associations with a lot of different mythologies, but in Greek mythology, they are considered one of the forms of Hecate, or Hecate, or Hecate, or Hecate, depending on whatever English teacher you had in high school or mythology teacher you had in college. It seems like everyone pronounced it wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Hecate. Anyway, Hecate is a goddess of witchcraft and a major figure in that Robinson 2015 Scarlet Witch run. Wanda finds her on the Greek island of Santorini, and a lot of stuff goes down. I don't want to spoil it. Just read that comic run. It's incredible. And during WandaVision, actually, you may remember a lot of people thought Dottie might be Hecate. Turns out not to be the case, but Emma Caulfield Ford is returning to the show. So all those theories are back on the table, folks. Now in this shot, we see Agatha in front of Ralph Boner's house. You remember that, number 2804. And I say it's Ralph Boner's house because she overtook it so that she could be right next door to Wanda. You remember that house having the same blue trim on the window shutters, and this is the same Burbank backlot house that was used for the classic sitcom of Bewitched. You'll notice the mailbox here is overstuffed and there is one letter sticking out with some chaotic stamps and ink all over it. Then there is a moment when Agatha shouts something, and most folks seem to think that Catherine Hahn is screaming these words: "Blast me, you bitches!" She could be ordering the Coven to hit her with their sorcery, the way Evan Nora Harkness's Coven did in that 17th century moment in WandaVision episode 8's prologue, because that is what gave her so much power. She could be trying to regain her magic. In a later shot, Agatha lets dust run through her hand in this same location, so maybe she drained another witch's power and reduced them to dust. But that would seem like a pretty big moment. Rumor has it that this footage that we see in this promo only encompasses the first 3 episodes. But maybe the most interesting shot is this one glimpse of Aubrey Plaza as Rio Vidal. She is on the right side of the shot, she's hooded, she's standing on a higher platform in a threatening pose over Agatha, who wears a bathrobe on the left side of frame. But if you look at Rio's right hand, she is clutching a dagger. And then to the right of Agatha, in that open closet, someone is crouching down low, hiding. I'm pretty sure this is Joe Locke, who is playing a teen character whom we're pretty sure is a teenage version of Billy Kaplan, aka Wiccan. Meanwhile, Miles Gutierrez Riley is rumored to be playing Billy's boyfriend, Teddy, aka Hulkling, who is in a relationship with Wiccan in the Young Avengers comics. We will see Joe elsewhere in this footage, and he seems to be in a kind of familiar status with Agatha. And then we venture out into these spooky woods, which appear to be the Witch's Road, aka Magica, an interdimensional realm where only witches and sorceresses can tread, which is also from that Robinson 2015 Scarlet Witch run. In these shots, we see Agatha and Billy, Lilia, Alice, Jennifer Kale, someone else in a hat, but notice that all of these characters are barefoot. Remember, Scarlet Witch Wanda was also barefoot when she slaughtered the Illuminati of the 838 universe in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So being barefoot may be a sacred ritual in which witches have to be without shoes or any kind of foot coverings in order to pay respect when they cross through this plane. I think I am more excited for Agatha than I am any other upcoming Marvel Disney Plus series. Maybe I'm just excited to go back to that WandaVision era when it seemed like anything was possible and I get to wake up every Friday morning and just react to episodes with Jessica Clemens. It was so much fun. Please subscribe to all 3 channels on the New Rockstars network, and you can support us by grabbing some merch at nerdriot.shop. You can follow me on all social platforms at EA Voss. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.